Hi guys, welcome to part one of how to extract your ESPN fantasy football data into Excel. um, if you're like me and you like to crunch numbers and play with data, then you may have found a similar frustration that ESPN.com does not allow you an easy way to extract the data from your league. I have found a utility online that somebody created and it was super slick. But they started charging after 10 reports, so that wasn't going to work for me. So this tutorial is showing you how to do it manually. It is intended for intermediate Excel users. I'm not going to go through any very advanced data manipulation or Excel formulas, but probably a beginner level Excel user will have trouble following this. So I'm going to go a little fast, but I think if you slow down the video and take it step by step, it should be okay for you. So the first thing we want to do is go to your ESPN Fantasy Football League. I have mine open, and what you want to do is find the box scores matchups for each week. And basically what you can do is find this navigation here, which has each matchup, and you can go through each one of these. Now what we're going to do is literally just copy and paste from here, and then we're going to do some data manipulation in Excel. So you've got the matchups, you got the first matchup for the week. Start with the team player's name, select, unselect, or deselect rather, hold down Shift, and select the whole table of information. Control C, back to Excel, and what we're going to do is right click and paste match destination formatting. This will strip out all of the unwanted HTML components. Let's scroll down at that point to the last usable, for the first usable cell. Control Tab or Alt Tab back to your ESPN. Don't click anything, don't click except for the next matchup, and you'll notice everything stays selected. And what we can do is just Control C from there, Alt Tab, right click, and paste values. Again, Control C, boom, scroll down. And as you can see, this goes pretty fast once you just hotkey back and forth for all of your matchups for the week. So realistically, that took me, I don't know, like less than a minute. At this point, what we're going to do is take a look at the data, and we can see that it is in a pretty usable format, but not perfect. We've got this weird situation happening where the player's name is duplicated. We've got these two lines with blank values in these cells, and the team name is up here and it's not in its own column. So what I want to do is remedy all that and get all this structured in a way that I can actually use it and play around with the data. So the first thing I want you guys to do is create a column next to A, and we will call this order, and just click enter 1, 2, 3, highlight them, and double click so that it orders all of your data all the way down to the last cell. And what this is going to do is, if we sort this data in any way that we need to, we can always get back to the original order that it was in. I'll also just enter some placeholder values for titles here. This doesn't really matter, but I'd like to do it because sometimes the filter utility gets a little wacky. The next thing I want to do is I want to disregard this name because this is stupid, and I want to use this one. So let's bring all of this data, and we're just going to scroll all the way down until there's nothing left here. Shift select, Control X to cut, and we're going to shift it all the way down. Now our usable data is next to a usable name. We're also going to do that with the slot here. Let's select, shift, select, control X again, and shift it all the way down. Great. Now we've got most of the data here in a one row, and it's almost perfect, but it's not quite there. I want to get the team name and the position, and I also need to get the the player's team name here in its own column. So let's take care of that first. Insert another column. We'll call this team name. And what we need to do here is identify a pattern in order to locate the team names. And if you'll notice, the team name always exists above this cell that says starters. So what we can do here is just enter a simple formula, simple if statement, and I'll put all of these formulas I'm about to use in the description. If C2 equals starters, then I want you to grab the value of C1. Otherwise, do nothing. I'm gonna actually just enter an empty string here and do that. That's fine. Now, okay, so that worked, but I want to also fill in all these blank cells. So next thing we're going to do is Control C and paste values on this entire column. Now we don't have any more formulas to deal with, so we can just deal with the name here. At this point, we're going to do something that looks like I'm doing nothing, but I'm actually doing something. So let's put the filter on, and I just use hotkey Alt-A-T, but you can also go to the data and filter. I want you to sort descending on team name, and I want you to click the first blank cell, Control Shift down on your keyboard, and delete and shift cells up. Make sure to shift cells up. Okay, that may not look like I did anything, but I actually deleted some hidden empty string value that would have been annoying in the next step. So next, let's resort using our order column. And what we're going to do from here is select the first team name, scroll all the way down to the last empty cell, and you're going to go to Home on the ribbon, Find and Select, go to Special, and we're going to select blanks. This is going to select every blank cell that Excel finds in the selection that you have. At this point, we're going to do equals, up arrow, and then Control Enter. And now you'll notice all of the names are filled in the way I want them. So again, we're going to Control C and paste values. And next, we're just going to get rid of this box score using a simple find and replace all. So let's select the entire column again, Control F, replace box score with the leading zero, with the leading empty space, and we're going to replace it with nothing. Great. Okay, that gets us closer. Let me pick back up in part 2 of this series, or else my allotted time is going to end in a second. So see you in part 2 where we fix the rest of this data.